Welcome to another episode of Studio B Sessions with me, Bindra, owner of Bindra Productions here in Orlando, Florida. This is a podcast for, filmmakers, video people, photo people, anyone in the creative industry. A raw, unfiltered conversations. And we've got Mario again on the producer desk helping us.
Hey
make
guys,
this
how
thing
are
happen.
you today? Nice to see you.
And our guest is a favorite from season 1, back, Emmanuel.
What
You're
up?
a DP, studio owner, production company owner. I mean, you
Yes.
do everything. With
Everything.
the
Too much
sporting
to
a new
juggle.
look. What happened?
Ooh, new haircut.
Yeah, I know.
Fresh from. They might not recognize me from season 1. With the
I
new
know.
haircut.
I don't think I've ever seen you without either a beanie on or your long hair. So it's just so weird.
It's been at least 4 years of me with long hair. So
Yeah.
this
What,
is something new for me.
what made you want to change the look?
3 years, man, or 4 years of long hair. It's a lot it's a lot of
Yeah.
upkeep. I gave it up to the people with long hair.
Are we sure it wasn't that girlfriend?
Well, funny enough, so my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I don't like guys with long hair." But then we started dating, and I was like, "I guess you're gonna deal with a guy with long hair." But it wasn't necessarily because of her.
Yeah.
But like the last 6 months, I would say once 2025 started, I was like, "This is probably the year I'm gonna cut my hair." I don't know when, but I'm gonna cut it 2025. I was thinking probably near the end, but then the hair started like drying up. It started like breaking apart. The edge, like I would put it in a bun, and the front hairs were just like all frizzy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And for everybody that lives in Florida, we all kind of know that when you live in Florida, it's all humid.
Dry,
Your hair is
yeah,
all
yeah,
frizzed
yeah.
up. So I almost cut it in March, but then I only did that cut below.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was like, "There's nowhere else I can go.
Yeah.
I can only go short after this."
Mm-hmm. And you went?
Yeah, I
Did you do this
so many
before
options.
the birthday or after the birthday?
Right before the birthday,
Right before the birthday.
like 2 days
look at
before the
that.
birthday.
Yeah, which as we were talking before we started, we weren't invited, Mario. But we did hear
What
about it.
happened there?
Yeah, so you said you were up until 6 a.m. partying?
Yeah, we
having fun?
always do Floridians. I mean, people that probably grew up in Orlando, some people might have done this, but we used to do like Airbnb parties before COVID.
Mm,
We'd go have a huge Airbnb party. Everyone has a room. Everyone parties. Everyone has like a pool.
yeah.
Good old time until COVID
Until you
came.
get kicked out
Yeah,
for making too
COVID.
much of a mess of
Pretty
somebody's
much.
house. Yeah.
Goal is to make as much noise and get kicked out as little as
Yeah,
possible.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm so glad you're older. Like you say, perpetually 27.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like-
Apparently for Vipul, I've been
Yeah.
27 for 3
4
years.
years. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like every time I meet you, you're like, I'm 27. It's like a birthday goes by. But you're telling me you're actually 27
I'm
now?
27.
That's crazy.
I got to look at my birth certificate, but
yeah.
I think I'm 27.
Yeah, you think you're 27.
Um,
That's so crazy, though. I can't believe I've known you a few years now, and that means you were, what, 25?
I was like 25 when we met.
Which is so crazy.
25 or maybe 24.
Yeah, wow. That's nuts to think about.
Time flies.
Yeah, I know. Wow. But hey, I mean, that's good. Congratulations on your birthday. Also, obviously, we talked about this last season, but you started a studio. You started a company. Now, I know you had your own company, but you started one with Fernando.
Yeah.
Then, you're also doing shoots as a DP. But I mean,
Mhm.
you're basically like, and you moved out,
Yeah.
right? That happened,
An apartment.
Yeah, you got your own place. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like you're growing up.
in 1 year. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
crazy that
happened,
all
right?
that happened in 1 year.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So a little background for any and not people that know me too well. I have E-Man Films, which is my freelance. People just can hire me out. They need a DP, they need a gaffer grip, and then just they see my portfolio and then they bring me on. I've had that the longest ever since I started, and it goes pretty well. I get hired a couple times a month, sometimes a couple times a week. Then early last year, we started Adapt Media, which is Fernando and I's goal to get either commercial clients or retainer clients. Because I know a lot of filmmakers, that's the big talking point: how to get retainer clients, how to like lock in those clients. And then we started the studio. It's about to be a year since we started the studio. It hasn't been.
That's with Val and another partner.
Yeah,
right?
Val and Mariana. So we have that studio, and then this month we're doing a lot of photo shoot events. So we're racking those up: photo shoot events and networking events. So.
Look at that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. You have, for a young guy, you're doing really good. I think you're also very talented. We've been able to, anytime you've been with me on set, we've been able to produce great images. So I feel like that's a lot to be doing at your age, which is good though. That means you have head start, right? By the time you hit your 30, you should be doing pretty well. I mean, you
Yeah.
already kind of are, right?
Yeah. It's interesting how like you really look at like the landscape right now of like people, even at my age or people in their 20s and 30s, and how much like complaint there are is about like money and paying rent or paying bills, and how like this industry itself, if you do a good job, if you pay attention, if you get into the right niches, that you can support yourself pretty well. As I'm a person, and I'm 27. But I mean, back then that wasn't that big deal. 27-year-olds by themselves. But you'll be surprised how many people I know that are 27 or 30 that it's a struggle to pay for a whole apartment by themselves. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Because
Right
rents are so high in Central Florida, and I'm sure in many other cities across the country
Yeah.
and the world. So just to be able to be independent is huge nowadays, which wasn't in the past. And then on top of that, like I said, to have the kind of lifestyle that we do as filmmakers, we're traveling, we're all over the place.
Yeah.
It can be nuts, I mean, but it's fun. Like,
Yeah.
right. And then
It's a fun and exciting. I think the fun and exciting part is when you're busy every single day.
Yeah.
And then don't get me wrong, after like 7 days, you're like, oh, day off. I want
Yeah.
this. But like just having that excitement of doing something new every single day.
Yeah,
It's,
and then also you having the flexibility. Like I work the amount I work because I want to, not because somebody's telling it me to, right? Like you do. Like and then we can take vacation whenever we want to.
Mhm.
So we're like, I just need a few days off. You just take the few days off. You don't need
Yeah.
permission. You don't need anyone to tell you that you can. Didn't you just go on vacation recently somewhere? Where were you?
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Look
Yeah.
at that. Yeah. How was that?
The whole week in Costa Rica. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to La Fortuna and just like walked around, did some hikes, jumped in some rivers, zip lining. That was crazy.
Yeah, look at that. And that's the freedom that I'm talking about. Is this lifestyle for everyone? No. But then there's perks of it, you know? You can just go whenever.
I was even
wherever.
talking to my girlfriend because she's in the complete opposite world of like she just works at startups and works like 9 to 5s and is building her career and her net worth that way. And she just like, oh, what if I do this, which is like build a company? And then she starts looking at all the things she has to do and she's like, oh no.
Yeah,
No,
because it's
that's
a
super
lot.
overwhelming.
And something people don't realize this again, freelancing or even just running a company, you do more hours. It's just, it doesn't feel like it because you love it. It's not because it's less work.
Yeah.
Because, you have to
It's
do
more
so
work.
much more
Yeah.
than that actual business, right? And
I think it's that thing where it's more work, but you can, enjoy it in the long term more because now, once you have the money, you can hire people below you.
Yeah.
You can just manage. You can just kind of make sure things go by smoothly. But once, doing a 9 to 5, you're going to be doing that. Even if you're just get higher and higher up, you still have those hours. You still have those 40-hour weeks on, regular jobs.
You don't have, and plus, like you said, if you want to go on vacation, you need permission, no matter what level you are in. You need to make sure it's, it's okay with the company and all that, right? So there's, and again, I don't want to discount just 9 to 5. For some people, that is right, and that's why I brought on some guests, who are like, hey, I have a full-time video job and I love it, and that's okay too.
And you can make a lot of money.
Exactly.
I've been learning a lot from my girlfriend about the tech startups and how much they pay, and then how much like tech jobs pay. And you start realizing like the differences between these industries and how much the average pay is. It's like, oh, this industry gets paid, $100K.
Yeah, and it's
in the
worth
first
it,
year or
especially on the tech side, because a lot of time they're trying to just raise funds. Not all tech startups make it, but to get VC funding, a lot of times part of that they use is we got this engineer from Google or Apple or what. Not that it matters, it depends on quality engineer, but I'm saying that you will use that as a fundraising tool.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can get a lot of money to leave your good job, let's say at a big tech firm to go to a new startup, and then you can get a lot of stock and options. And obviously, if you make it, great. But if not, it's still great because you did something entrepreneurial or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money. I guess there's money in every industry as long as you're willing to put in the
work
time and work and effort.
Yeah, and adapt to what you need to be able to make that money. Like that, it's more education, more learning the different IT requirements, all the tech stuff. Here, it's just like learning your skill set, learning the industry, learning your gear,
Mhm.
learning how to sell, and
Yeah.
then boom, you'll make some good money.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, not the easiest way to make money, but it's a good way to make money, especially
Hmm.
if you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what we do is help other people sell, right? And that's my favorite part is that we can come in and we can, because we do, primarily corporate and commercial video production. So we can come in and help them, I don't know, get to their target audience and to their audience and to explain their complicated situations more simple. I don't know. It's like we are a partner,
Yeah.
and it's really good to be a partner for someone else in helping them get their vision to life or
Yeah.
whatever.
I think that's something always when we're meeting with a new client, that's something we kind of bring up. Like, hey, just remember, like, these packages and these things is kind of like making us partners of you. Our goal is to see you succeed. Our
Yeah.
goal isn't just to take a paycheck and leave.
Yeah.
Our goal is like, you need marketing video, you need social media, you need to grow your company.
Yeah.
Like find up our video partner to help you build your social media or your commercials or your marketing portfolio to be able to make sales.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to be partner because it's also in best interest of everyone because
Mm-hmm.
we want repeat clients or retainer clients because that's easy for us, right? Because we don't have to go keep hunting for new clients. And so it's in our interest to actually make them succeed because then they need more and more
Mhm.
video content as they grow. And obviously that's what they want to do. They already obviously are doing whatever it is that we're helping them.
Yep.
And they want obviously, let's say, to fundraise or to sell their product or service or whatever. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it has to be approached as a partnership.
Mhm.
If you sell, and that's why I have approach. If you approach them as a customer, can you do it? Absolutely. But I feel like then I don't know. It's not a long term solution
Mhm.
for either one because now you're like, okay, you're a customer. My product that I sell to your service is video production. Then you go, you do it, and you get out of there, and then it's like, nobody wins. I feel like in that
Mhm.
situation. So that's why I'm like, it's very important to approach it like a partnership perspective, even if though they don't, let's say, for some reason become a repeat client or whatever,
Mhm.
you still approach it in the correct manner.
Yeah.
Because you never expect anything, and if you do good work, I think it'll be rewarded, and if you do it enough times, you don't
Yeah.
need everyone to keep hiring you over and over. But if enough do, and it becomes a high paying career. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like customer service, making sure they're having a good time. It's not just only about the video, but
Yeah.
if they don't enjoy the process, if they don't feel comfortable, if they don't
Yeah,
feel like their money's going in the right way,
yeah,
even if it doesn't end, it's not going to make
Yeah.
that big of a splash.
yeah. Even if it means sitting in a conference center for 4 days and talking about politics that we don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Which one?
The one in the convention center with that client where we were.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he had so much downtime.
Dude, I think that
And
went
she kept
great.
bringing-
We should
we loved
hire
it. But I'm
Bender
saying
again.
she kept bringing politics up over and
Uh-huh.
over again, and we both normally don't talk about it.
Uh-huh.
We're just like, I can't believe we're getting paid to right now sit here. And
That's
do
my
this.
number one no.
Yeah.
Never bring up
Yeah.
politics. But she was
Exactly.
such a sweet lady. Such a
Yeah.
sweet lady.
And to be honest, she was genuinely curious because she wasn't from America. So
Mhm.
she was just like, what the crap?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But that was fun shoot. And then talk about the big shoot we did this year.
Yeah.
So finally, I was like, this year's been weird for me,
Mhm.
like I said, because of the economy or whatever. So I've been doing different type of stuff than I normally do. But then Zay called and he wanted to do it again. Last year we did this in Philadelphia. We help a nonprofit tell their client stories, we can
Mhm.
say. And so we wanted to capture them again at their conference this year. Again, we weren't going to do the conference. We were just going to be at the conference getting these high-end story elements.
Mhm.
So, I tried to get you involved, and it took me a couple of tries, and finally got you in. And I was like, I was really trying to bring you in because I know you're a good person to have on set and fun. And you kept turning me down, and I'm like, what's happening here? So finally, I was like, okay, here's the world, Emmanuel. Can you come now? And then you said yes. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
but anyway, it was great having you. Remember from your
Yeah.
side?
It was great. I was like, you know what? I'll do it. And then we show up to the airport and we're on Frontier, and I was like, no.
Right. I think we shot ourselves in the foot. So essentially, initially we were gonna go in Delta because we were gonna bring gear and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And then what ended up happening is because the way the project was gonna be, we're gonna need a certain amount of gear, and it was cheaper plus better gear, and also we're familiar with all my gear. We decided to send my van to Chicago with Mari and Jared.
Mhm.
Funny enough, that meant that we were not carrying any gear anymore, so our flight quality does not matter.
Yeah.
So we were put on a Frontier flight, and
Frontier
to be honest, I've been on cheapo flights. Not a fan of Spirit, all those, but this was my first time on Frontier. I try to strategically avoid them as much as possible, and I was so worried for most of the flight.
Yeah.
And what was your experience? You've flown Frontier before, right?
Frontier,
Yeah?
Spirit. I've flown all the other cheapest flights for sure. Usually on vacation,
Yeah.
but I would say my only real gripe was that we landed in Chicago and then there wasn't any gate for us to unload.
Yeah.
So it was like an hour flight from, I think, Nashville.
Yeah.
Right? Nashville? No, Atlanta.
No,
An hour and a half from Atlanta. We show up and then we're just on the
tarmac.
For like an hour.
Yeah,
waiting to get off.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, you're right. We went from here because, of course, Frontier, no direct flights at least. We went from Frontier to Atlanta to Chicago, and when we got there, I guess they don't give priority or whatever. They're like, "Oh, there's nowhere for you to go." And I texted Zay. I was like, "Oh, we're here," and he's like, "Oh, we're landing too," because he flew Delta. Talk about talk about putting us in a cheap flight. I mean, I get it. Like I said, we didn't need gear, but come on. And then so he's like, "Oh yeah, we just landed too," and I was like, "Great." All right, see you in a little bit. And then an hour later, it's like, where are you? We've even gotten the rental car and everything. We're like, we're still in the plane.
We're still sitting here.
I know what's I think it was just that. You're right. It's just Frontier. That's not a priority, I think, for them to give you a gate or whatever.
And then it's always when the flight's not a priority, we get unloaded in like the furthest gate, and then we have to walk 3 miles.
International terminal. They said you're in the international terminal.
Exactly.
Literally the last gate. So it was like a very long walk.
We walked for like 20 minutes to get to the pickup spot.
area. Yeah, thank goodness we didn't have any check bags because I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that bad, to be honest. To again go back to it. It depends on what you're doing. If you're carrying just a backpack or a carry-on, and going short flights like we did, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue is how critical it is because I think these cheap airlines are known to cancel flights or delay flights or not have baggage make it and stuff like that, which is all can be a hassle. But on a shoot like this where everything is being sent, we just need to make sure we arrive and we have no bags.
The good thing is that we didn't have to shoot that day.
Yeah, we also didn't have to shoot that day.
It was gonna be like a location scout day.
Yeah, but we didn't get to do that, which is good. I mean, I guess, but I want to talk about that. So anyway, we get there, and we're like, okay, let's go to the Airbnb because they had made it. Funny enough, somehow timing worked out great.
How long was the drive, Mario, for you guys to make it?
How long?
How long was the drive?
Well, total were like, if we count like the hotel and the like 5 hours sleep, was like maybe. So yeah, we left Orlando around.
Let's say 8-ish a.m. Yeah,
9 a.m.
Sure.
Okay, let's say that. So that's the time I pick up Jared and we arrive at Chicago at.
Around what? What was it? 2 p.m. I would say
between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. next day. So.
Yeah, you did sleep though. You did get.
No, but we get the sleep. So just
that's
travel.
like 30 hours.
Yeah, that's like 30 hours. But without the hotel and the sleep hours, it was my 24 hours.
Yeah, that's with all the stops and everything.
He's saying like it's so like
no, it's okay. 24 hours driving. No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's okay.
Oh
hey,
my God.
I've done it. I mean,
you gotta put a poll on this video. Like, would you drive 24 hours to Chicago?
I mean, to be honest, I have driven 600-700 miles in 10.5 nonstop. But that also depends on the person. My attitude in life is like I want to just get there. So if I was driven it, I would have pretty much gone all the way to Nashville, and then I would have stopped. And I'm again not saying everyone likes to do what I do, and then I would have been like, okay, swap with the other person, and now you drive, and we get there, and then I could sleep or rest, or the other way. I wouldn't mind. It's just a preference thing, but it also depends on who it is, because I literally used to drive from Alabama back and forth, and we're literally an hour away from Nashville, so I know I can make that drive easy.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, but yes, no, is it for everyone? No. But all these modern vehicles, you put it on that adaptive cruise control.
Cruise control, yeah.
You go on the right lane, put it on the speed limit, and you just go. It's
Mhm.
not. And most of my van can even recognize speed limit changes, so it can even slow you down or
Mhm.
speed you up or whatever. So I'm saying, is it fun? No. But that's why I didn't want to do it. That's why we flew. Because I wanted to be. I'm like, if you're telling me I'm gonna be responsible for all this, I want to be all. Which again, I want to come back to why I wasn't my 100%. I wanted to be my 100% because the goal was to do the best. But here's what happens. All right, you guys made it and we made it.
Mhm.
So on the way, we're like, oh, they got funds. They probably ate or whatever. We need to eat. So what was the suggestion you made to stop? Out of all the places in Chicago we could have stopped to eat.
Well, we were kind of in a rush too. We were trying to get back to the Airbnb. So right when I looked up, we found, what was it, like Dave's Hot Chicken?
Hot Chicken, yeah.
Dave's Hot. I've never been to Dave's Hot Chicken. I didn't know if it was a Chicago place or not. Apparently, there's like a few in Orlando I didn't know about. And we had a nice good time.
Yeah, so we had
Dave's
to
Hot
there.
Chicken.
It's so funny. The lady at the counter, she was so like not happy to be there or whatever. She was like, because I don't know, I've never been there, so I'm asking her, like, asked her a question. I think you did too, and she didn't want to respond. She's like, hot or spicy, like hot or mild or whatever. Like, she was short.
She did not want to be there. I showed up. I was like, I'm thinking this, and she was like, hot or no. She was like saying like the different things, hot, spicy, this, and I was like, what? My first time here.
Yeah, calm down for a sec. And she was a manager or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like she was not wanting to be there.
She did not want to be there.
And then, but as soon as so we go there, I think you order whatever, and I'm looking at it, and I'm I eat Indian food and I can eat spicy. Usually in America, like nothing is that spicy for me. So I'm like, whatever, give me a spicy option. But it's one thing to not find regular spicy hot. Like I can eat hot chicken, but then they had an option for what was it, ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper?
It's a Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, which is the hottest spice, I think pepper or whatever, I think, or that or pepper X, whatever. Point is, they had like their mild, hot, hottest or whatever, like all little rays, and then the last one was Reaper or whatever, or ghost pepper. I don't know, whichever one. Point is, it was very, very spicy. So normally I'm like, and there's a difference. There's a flavorful spicy, then there's just hot to be hot. So so I was just checking, and then when my turn came to order, you're just egging me on. You're like, look at that one. Because I was like, yeah, no, I don't find spicy, but I want to work.
Because he said it out loud. He said, yeah, the spicy here in America isn't that bad. Yeah, and I was like, try it.
Yeah, the Reaper is like, it's meant to hurt you. That's the point of it. Anyway, point is, I was like, no, I gotta work. I'll just take the hot one. So I think I took their slider or whatever option for food. And then, I was thinking about getting a milkshake. And also, she turned me away. So I was like, oh, that milkshake looks good. And she was like, no, our milkshakes are like more thin or whatever. And I think they're not worth the $8. So I was like, whatever the price was. She was like, basically, she turned me away so I wanted to get a milkshake.
Said nah.
She said, don't get it, which was, again, a mistake.
Yeah.
Point is, so she was like, yeah, you don't need a milkshake. I was like, first of all, she's telling me what I need. Okay.
Question, was the milkshake good when you did get it?
No, hold on.
So she was being honest.
No, yeah, but no, she told me away from it. So I was like, okay, whatever, just give me a cup of soda or whatever. But that doesn't help with the actual spicy. And then you're egging me on. Tell the truth. You were like, no, you got to try it. And then, oh my goodness, a smile on her face. She went from being like not happy at her job to you could see instantly the evil. She's like, yeah, I can give you a sample. Why don't you try it? And I'm like, no. And then in my brain, I'm like, is it, I know what a Reaper tastes like. It's not like I've never had it. And it's actually spicy, Like those 2 million Scoville units is not like a joke. So anyway, but I'm saying it's entirely your fault because you're like egging me on. You're like, try it. I'm like, okay, whatever. How hot can it be?
And then
go ahead.
You do what? No, she got so happy, and then she was like, oh, I can give you a sample. You want a sample? And you were like, why not?
Yeah.
So she goes over here with like a sample of like freshly hot like chicken.
Yeah.
With like, it wasn't even like the sauce wasn't even in the chicken. It was like on top.
Yeah, and it was all over. Like if you say it was fully coated. It wasn't. You say sample. It was like this big.
Yeah, it was like a huge piece. It's a whole chicken tender.
Yeah.
And then you took a bite, and then you're like, oh, it's not bad.
No, I was, and then here's the funny thing. So you people are just now looking at me. So I'm like, whatever. I know I can take spicy, but I'm expecting it to be, because. If it's real Carolina Reaper or whatever, ghost pepper, it's like going to be very spicy. The crazy thing is, it was actually hot, like not spicy hot, but like it had come out of the oven.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. Like she wouldn't let me touch it, which I get the point because it's whatever. Like she just held it out, like for me to just pick it up. I would have waited like 30 seconds or whatever. So I didn't know that, but it was like so hot, like it burned my tongue. So now imagine it's in my mouth and now it burns my tongue. And so now, I can taste spice even more. And then I'm like hot. And like you guys think I'm saying it's spicy hot. I'm like, no, my mouth is burning from the heat. So anyway, so I'm like trying to drink soda and you guys are just laughing your butt off. And I'm like, no, it's not that spicy yet. So anyway, so I ate it. I'm being real with you. I'm not making it up. It wasn't not that spicy. Because I was like I said, my mouth was numb from the heat of like the temperature basically. So I didn't even get to chew much. I just freaking swallowed. I was like, I drink it cold. I'm like, why would it be so hot? Like off the fryer or whatever. And so I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad, But then I started to feel it everywhere. Freaking the chicken burnt me. I was like, oh, that was her intention, or maybe not the intention. Either way, but at least at that moment, I'm like, oh, come on. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom to like put something in my mouth to calm down the heat first. Because remember, the spice isn't kicked in yet for me. And you can tell your perspective in a second. But anyway, so I come back and I'm like, no, I need the milkshake. Because here's the crazy thing. So my mouth, not spicy, right? Coke is fine, and then obviously it's burnt from the heat from how hot the chicken was. Anyway, but then like it's literally right here. It's like I start to feel it. I'm like, I can feel the literal of my stomach. Yeah, I know exactly where it is. See, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with how much spice you can take. It's like your body cannot take it. So now I know exactly where my stomach is, where the spice is, and my body does not like it. And now I'm like, I want the milkshake lady. I mean, she was nice enough. I don't think she charged us for it.
No.
I was like, I want, and she was right. Yeah, it wasn't the best milkshake. It was kind of crap. But then at that point, I'm like, I need it. And then here's the opposite thing that I don't know if you know this. The milkshake's not helping because it's not in my mouth, right? It'd be one thing if my mouth is hot, then yes, milk products calm your, spice level. So it was hurting, kind of where where it had burnt me, but it was not like helping with the situation because the situation was in my stomach. And funny enough, I realized this quickly. So I don't know if you noticed, I didn't finish that milkshake until after the Airbnb because I would take a sip and it would burn even more. And I was like, this is not helping. So whatever's happening, it's not helping.
Making a weird concoction.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, I stopped. So I left the milkshake and then I was basically just eating the food, regular food, and that was helping. The fries was helping a lot. So yeah, so that was my perspective. What did you guys see?
My perspective after that, I laughed for like a good 20 minutes. Then we got in the car and I'm having a good time, looking out, looking at the train that stopped us for like an hour, then the drive, blah 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 blah. And then we get back to the Airbnb and you're like, yeah, I thought I was gonna throw up a few times.
So I'm like, 15 minutes to the Airbnb or whatever, I can be good. And honestly, all I wanted to do was just lay down, let my stomach rest. And funny enough, like I said, milkshake is not helping. The only thing that's helping is fries, and I've eaten all the fries, right? I have nothing left, and I don't want to eat the chicken right now. And the train, because apparently Chicago has train issue. Wherever we were, the road, we were stopped for an hour almost. I felt like multiple spots just because of trains or whatever. And I'm like, this is. At one point, I quite literally was like, I'm about to open the door and just lay down on this ground. It was bad. It was, and I was like, the entire time I'm blaming you. I'm like, why did I bring this guy on this shoot? I was like, I asked him, he said no, and that was it. Why did I have to keep insisting? Let's bring Emmanuel on this shoot. I'm like,
look what I did to myself.
This is the second time food related you've egged me on to go. It's not turned out good. Do you remember the Chinese food? The Chinese, you forgot? You were there, yeah. The Chinese food. He forced us to eat some crappy Chinese food.
My logic was sound with the Chinese food.
Yeah, you say that. It wasn't
the only Chinese food in like miles.
Yeah. And you somehow thought it was going to be good.
It makes sense when it's like the only people that eat there are like people over like 60.
Yeah.
Like, oh, maybe their taste buds aren't, up to par. But yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, no. Funny when we tried each person's chicken and it all tasted the same and it was 4 different types of chicken. That's when you know it's the same thing. They're just putting in 3 different bowls. Anyway, but no, that was at least still food. This one was completely like, so I was like, why did I? And then, to be honest, I take blame. I was like, yes, could have done it like at home, like we're hanging out. Sure, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'm like, I'm there to be a DP, try to make this huge project happen with 5 cameras and all this lighting and everything. And I'm like, and next thing I know is like I'm freaking wanting to just lay down. Thank goodness we weren't gonna shoot, so it didn't affect us that much. But I was definitely done for that day. I was like, this is not good. There's nothing I can control, because it's internal, Yeah, there's nothing I could have made it better or worse or whatever.
I was having a good time that first day.
Yeah.
We're walking around.
Yeah, so I'm like, third time, I'm never listening to food, really. I've learned my lesson in life.
Yeah, I was hanging out with Jared and Mario. We're going around, exploring.
Yeah, that's why you guys went on a walk that day, too. And I was like, you guys go. I'm just chilling. I'm just gonna rest. But no, that was a good. And then actually, I think that whole day one wasn't that great because now that I think about it, we're like, oh, we're in Chicago. Let's try deep dish pizza. I don't know what place you
was
found.
Jared.
Okay, Jared found because that was not real deep dish pizza. That was just a thicker pizza. That good, yeah. So first pizza we tried, and we were like, I was eating. I was like, this is not what deep dish pizza is supposed to be. So we got also unlucky with the pizza that we got.
Yeah, that was interesting. But we did play, or I played at least. Ping pong.
Yeah, you did play ping pong.
I almost won.
So you won that.
And I think that became a recurring thing we did throughout the whole trip.
Yeah.
We kept finding ping pong tables and just
having mini competition. Yeah, because there was one at the location too where we were filming. What a beautiful location.
Great location.
But I've never had anyone give us so much trouble at a location before. Have you ever had anything like that happen?
Location or
no, I wouldn't say the name, but
Super nice.
Super nice location. But I'm talking about the troubles that we had.
Yeah, the troubles.
At the loading dock, at the just touching the furniture was. I mean, that was the craziest thing to me.
For people that don't know, we go to this location. It takes like an hour for us to unload the first day because we just can't find the unloading dock. Yeah. We finally get to the loading dock. Then there's a truck in our way that we can't unload
because they had parked taking up 2 loading docks.
Yeah. I forgot. I don't know how we unloaded, but we finally unloaded. It took us like 30 minutes to finally get to the location, and they're like, "Oh, we're actually gonna use that location for like 2 hours." So you have to set up in a whole different room. Exactly.
We were supposed to make high-end images, so we discussed it needs. Like I said, we do corporate video. Emmanuel, you've been with me on shoots where we have to set up in 15, 30 minutes, whatever. Can we do it? Absolutely, but that's not the point. That's not why 5 of us are there to make something in 15 minutes. We're there to make some really nice images. We need time. So I was told, we can have this room, and then all of a sudden, they're like, oh, we need to use this room for some internal thing, whatever, for 2 hours, which is fine. But I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, already this is starting off to like a corporate shoot because now we have 2 hours to set up to make anything happen, and that's limiting time for what we wanted to do there. So I remember, you guys are playing basically ping pong. We're having a good time. We said we were able to at least use some of the time. We did get some of the rigs set up and
with the camera set up.
Yeah, the Dana Dolly setup. So it wasn't like completely waste of time, but it was a lot of waste of time.
Yeah, like a little summary about that lady. Yeah. We go. I didn't even see her the first 2 days.
Yeah, no.
But we go there, and then we're setting up the gear, and we're moving the whole furniture. We completely rearranged the whole room.
Yeah.
The first 2 days, and then we're moving furniture, moving stuff around. And then on the third day, I guess because we can't provide her with like $2 million, $3 million of insurance.
Yeah, she wanted really high insurance. Yeah.
No one can touch a single thing. You can't breathe. You can't move. If you need to move something, you got to let us know.
No, that wasn't even insurance. So that was just a loading, unloading. That's the crazy part. No, they said we couldn't touch the furniture regardless. We had already, they had given them all the, liability insurance and everything. So they had that. They're talking about insurance for loading. I'm saying they didn't want us to touch it anyway. And they're saying they're somehow film friendly because they had like Batman movie or something shot there or whatever. I don't know. Point is, they're supposed to be this friendly location for filmmakers. And now they're like, oh, yeah, you can't touch any furniture. Like, you can't even move it a little bit. And it was so funny. One of the ladies, like, they came in.
Yeah, so she said that, like, in the middle of us changing interview setups. Yeah. So we go like, hey, we need this couch moved. And it's like, it's like 5 guys in there that can move the couch. And she's like, no one can touch it. Yeah. I'm gonna move it with my with my team. Yeah. So we're like, okay, it's gonna be a big team of like people coming in. And then it's like, her, and then it's like one skinny dude,
Yeah.
and they go, and the dude's like, nah, like I'm not moving this.
Yeah, exactly. He's like janitorial staff or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, he literally just looked. He's like, nah. The look on her face,
like
and
this.
she was so puny, and she tried to lift it. It's like,
and
this
and
is
then,
not a light.
And then she was like,
furniture.
okay, well, I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna call somebody else. Then it was like a 50-year-old like lady that was like 5'1",
Yeah.
5 foot. And then she tried it, and she was like, nah, I'm not. No way.
And we could have moved that in like the thing that would have taken us 30 seconds ended up being like a 15-minute adventure. Yeah.
It was a lot of setbacks on that.
Yeah, and I think it was just all the location based, like I said, and then from being able to load out to being able to just like do all this. It wasn't us. I feel like we were all on point. And still, I think what we achieved was incredible because we were able to set up how
The
we
shots
wanted
looked
to
amazing,
set up.
for sure.
The first day, I think the plan again. Remember, I had planned to have 5-6 hours to be limited to 2 hours, and then that 2 hours was supposed to also be for just setting up our end, what we're responsible for technically production. I thought he was gonna have somebody doing set decoration, so somebody else would be anyway setting up the furniture or whatever. And if you realize, which he didn't, and that's fine, location limitations or whatever. So corporate, we're used to rolling with the punches. So it ended up being 2 hours, and out of that 2 hours, we spent an hour 15, I would say, just moving and getting all the furniture out of it because there was so much furniture there, getting it how we wanted it to be. And I think it was 45 minutes of setup where we set up an 8x8. We did a book light. We did a top-down camera where we built like a goalpost type of rig. We did, gobo in the back. I mean, we did a lot in 45 minutes. I was actually surprised how much we were able to do in the 45 minutes. What do you think about that first setup? That was my favorite one.
Looked great.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the one we had the most time. And then we went in there, like you said, it was a whole. We had the two Novas honing up in that golf style.
Yeah.
Softbox. So bounce back. We had the camera above that got a great shot.
Yeah, so basically it was two Novas that, so we basically put an 8x8 at a 45, which we'll get to do again soon, but we put two Novas, so the Novas bounce of the Ultra bounce through a magic cloth, so it's very, very soft,
Super
8x8
nice.
light.
Yeah.
And then we put Dana Dolly, so it was a camera, was Burano, then there was 3 FX6s, so it was 4 on the ground, and then the 5th was the FX3, and they all had the ARLs, the primes from DZO film at 1.4. With the Hollywood Black Magic in front of it.
Which I would say is a heavy
Yeah.
lens. The whole time I was subject to be the handheld guy. And then I'm holding the camera, and the first time I'm like, why is my wrist hurting so much? Everything in that camera was so front heavy that I was holding the camera like this, literally the whole time. And
I was needed extra weight in the back. Even though you had V mount, I think you needed a bigger V mount.
I needed like a 300 V mount.
Yeah, that thing is heavy. I was surprised. It looks like the Cook. I'm saying visually, like on camera, the characteristics, but then the feel in hand is like a signature prime. The weight is like, I don't even know what, like a Takina Vista prime or whatever. But the point is, it was like very heavy, very heavy. They're very beautiful lenses. I'm keeping them, obviously. I really like them. But I was very surprised how heavy it is for what it is. And you were stuck. Look, I tried to. So Zay had an idea next day. He's like, hey, why don't we, because we looked at the footage and, obviously you guys did great, but he's like, would it be cool to put, Jared on handheld and you on Dana Dolly? And I swapped you guys for a little bit, and then I was like, nah, back. Because I really liked how you guys were doing. That's what I'm saying. It's just a personal thing. I liked how Jared was on Dana Dolly, and Mario was handling 3 things. He got I think the short and the stick. He was having to deal with, which obviously they were static, but he was having to do the Burano, the FX6 that we called, artsy angle, and then he was having to deal with the audio. Also, the other camera, the new thing that they added last second, the audio on the interviewer that wasn't part of the plan. He was having to do 4 things. So hats off to you. How did that feel?
MVP.
Felt well. No, it felt great. Really, once we began shooting, it just was like me checking the audio, that everything was recording fine, and then from time to time just looking at the cameras. The framing is looking good. Now everything is in frame, But yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I think it
And
was
then
so
I
fun.
loved what you were doing too, Emmanuel. The handheld footage was just so
Mhm.
creamy, so nice. Like I said, I know even though it was very front heavy, you were doing great, and I
Mhm.
was just like, this is incredible. Like I know I can cut, and I don't even cut
Yeah.
footage anymore. But I'm like, I know I could cut something incredible out of
Mhm.
this. So I can't wait to see what they do with it. Right?
It was at least for the handheld. There was definitely a bunch of funny angles I had to put my
Yeah.
body in
Yeah.
to hold the weight. I had to have the camera like on my knee, or like on my shoulder,
Yeah.
or like
An
lean
easy rig
back.
would have helped you. You know,
Mhm.
that's one thing I'm going to add if we were to do something like that again. That's the thing you really needed an easy rig to just take some of the weight off so you can focus on what
Yeah.
you're doing. But again, like I said, as far as shots go, they were still what we wanted. Like
Yeah.
the first one, just that tier.
First one was
This was
top
like
10, yeah.
just get into that tier or
That one
whatever.
right in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, this is gold. This is what we want.
I
you
got
know?
that tier.
Yeah, yeah, you
Uh,
you definitely
you
get
gotta
that.
send me just that clip, that raw
Yeah.
clip.
Yeah, no,
tier.
I can't wait to see it because, like I said, even the color grade on that is they sent me some, screen grabs with some, I would say dailies, you can call it. Like
Mhm.
they're not final frames, but they look amazing. I was like, the seat, I told you. And that's 2 hours of
Is
us.
he happy with the final frames?
Yeah, I think so. But what's crazy is like that's 2 hours of the five of us. Imagine now if
Okay,
it was
yeah.
a whole day, what
And
we can
then
achieve.
location scouting
Or
before.
we had a pre-light day or something
Yeah.
like that. Because we did everything, like the sound,
Mm-hmm.
camera, lighting, grip. So no, I had a lot of fun. I think that was your first time shoot using all this new cart-based
Yeah.
system. How did that feel?
That was great. It was my only
Getting the cart to the location, I guess, is the hard part, right?
my only thing that I always get nervous is I always feel like the wheels are gonna just pop and
Yeah.
it's gonna follow me.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
other
yeah.
than that,
Yeah.
I think,
I mean, they're supposed to be designed for those carts, so I
Mhm.
don't know, obviously, the limitation of that, but
the
yeah.
tire pressure.
Yeah. I mean, we had to make sure before he left, we made sure all the tire pressures were good. Every cart had the right amount of air pressure. Everything was loaded correctly and all that.
But yeah, it was great to have all that type of equipment in that room. Once we rolled it into that room, once we finally got
Yeah, we
up
didn't
the
have to leave.
elevator,
Yeah,
down a couple mazes.
Yeah,
Once we got to the location,
we didn't have to go anywhere.
yeah,
right? Yeah,
it was just all there, and it was just like pull, boom,
Yeah.
did like 3 different light setups.
yeah,
All the rigging equipment, all the stands were there.
yeah. It was fun. And and then the talk about the craziness that you're talking about the second. So again, it was supposed to be just again 1-person interviews. Then here's the monkey wrench.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna switch to a 5-person table type of setup like Hollywood Reporter, which is amazing. I've done one of those before. But then it's like, oh, by the way, there's no table and you can't touch the furniture. So I still remember us trying to like get the set ready, and we spent an hour trying to like to get this set canceled. And we had a whole plan. And no, I would say for hour. We didn't have an hour. We had like 30 minutes. Anyway, and then they came in, like you said, they said you can't touch the furniture. So it's like, what? So that set us back.
Yeah.
Just like, no, we need the furniture. So now we're just standing there. And then we had literally 15 minutes to do anything. And we wanted to build a menace arm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so funny. I'm like telling you guys, and you're like, Ripple, this is leaning. I'm like, yeah, because there's no ratchet strap. Like, we don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 86 that. Like, we're not using a menace arm. And then Zay's like, no, we got to roll. We got to roll. We got to roll. And
Yeah,
I'm
because
like,
they
were putting pressure on him.
It was like fully different setups,
Mm-hmm.
and then for like because we had 1 person, we had a 2-person, then we had a 5-person.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, for 15 minutes, this is going to be a little tricky.
Yeah,
to let
exactly.
everybody-
And then and I'm like, and remember, this is full lighting change, full camera change, full everything change to go from 1 to 5, because then went to 2. So I was like, this is not enough time. I told him before in Orlando when we left, so he knew. But it's on him. Like I said, he's just a director. Like somebody else is making the schedule, because these people's availability are very limited. It's not that they're just purposefully making our life difficult. And that's what I'm saying. In situations like this, you have to getting the content is more important than getting the best content or best lighting or whatever, because that's why I was like, this is not going to happen. 15 minutes is too little time to set up a whole new menace arm, to set up the lighting that we wanted to, and cameras and all the other stuff. So I was like, okay guys, 86 that, because he's in my ear because they're in his ear. So I was like, okay, 86 that. So we basically used the setup we had used for single and kind of changed things around. And then it's so funny, we started rolling because it was like roll. So I'm like, roll, guys, and everything. And then Zay looks at the camera. He's like, that black person it's too dark. I was like, yep, because we have no light on her.
Yeah.
I was like, the good thing is this is all log. This is all 10-bit footage. Burano is 8cam. We should be able to hopefully 8K, punch in, up the highlights or midtones or whatever on her to basically bring her back a little bit. Yeah.
I forgot about that. That you want to jump into the Burano and tell me your review about the Burano.
Yeah, I was really excited. So I've been wanting a Burano since it came out, right? As soon as it was launched, I was like, okay, it'll be a good ad. Because, I want something mid-tier to add that's somewhere between RA and FX6s. And it's just a camera didn't exist. And when Burano was announced, I was like, oh, this is perfect, Because for years, I thought it was the red cameras. And I bought them a couple times too, but nobody wanted to use them, at least in the work I do. So it was a base of investment every time. So I was like, I'm not definitely buying a red again. So Burano could be that fit. But then again, it launched. There was a lot of firmware issues, but then nobody ever called me for it. And this project was like the perfect catalyst where, we thought about multiple cameras and it ended up being multiple FX6s. And I was like, okay, we should definitely do something nicer with the A cam. So it's like, well, let's add a Burano. And then it was quite literally, I was thinking about, let me just buy one. And then I was like, you know what? No, let me just try it. This is a perfect opportunity to see if I like it. So I was very much interested in acquiring one. So the two cameras I was eyeing was that, and then the Ronin 8K. And Ronin 8K is not cheap either. I know the 6K is like 5K, but the Ronin 8K is like 10 grand plus accessories. Becomes at least $13,000, $14,000. So I was like, if I'm going to spend that much, might as well add another 10 and, get the Burano.
Yeah.
So that was the debate. Anyway, but we set it up, we turned it on, and I think we all had the same reaction. I looked at it, I was like, that's it? Like, and not that it looked bad. Here's the thing. I want to be very correct. It looked great. But we had a quad view, the monitor with all the 4 cameras. And I'm like, this looks just like the other 3, just slightly sharper. But so we can punch in more. Maybe, yes, that's the advantage. But I'm like, I didn't see a 5X improvement. Did you?
No, not really. Especially with the setup we were using. Like, I get why we got the 8K to prop in. But yeah, when you're just looking at it for what it was, like that frame, it just looked like a regular FX6.
Yeah, and it's actually, again, we don't need the OC and whatever the raw format is. It's like, because we know what we're doing is, we have exposed it correctly. We don't need the latitude. We need maybe colors and stuff, and then that was fine. As in, what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed because I expected more. And I think that's just a testament to how good cameras have gotten. Not the Burano's bad. It's just like FX6 is so good that looking at the footage, I'm like, other than this being 8K, I didn't, and obviously I'm sure outdoor it may have been a bigger difference, but at least indoors, the environment we're in with controlled lighting, I honestly did not think it was 5X better. It was maybe 1.2X better. I would pay maybe $8,000 for it over to the $6,000, $9,000 maybe, like an FX9 price. Yeah. But I definitely did not feel it was $25,000 worth. Now, would I still want it? Yes. I still am eyeing that camera, to be honest, because it does fit in my lineup so well, that I have. And that's why I ended up getting the Ronin. So I was like, okay, might as well getting the Ronin now because that makes more sense because I can use it more than the Burano. I'd still like to add a Burano, but yes, I was very disappointed. I was like,
yeah, I think it would be useful if you're going to crop in, like a conference job, like a cam.
Yeah, but am I going to bring a Burano at a conference, a $25,000 camera? Does that even make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you said, it's like cameras have gotten so good. I think the FX6 line is so common now that it's like that slight difference for how much is it? Like $25,000?
Yeah, just the body only.
Just for $25,000, and then the FX6 is what, like $5,000, $6,000?
Yeah, $6,000. Yeah,
so it's like you juggle it, and you're like, I'll just get a few FX6s.
Yeah, I think you can get 2 FX6s and make more money than with one Burano. Now, yes, it does bring, like David was saying on his vlog, it does bring an element of prestige, and I know it's silly. You can go say, oh, I own a Burano, and, I'm a DP with a Burano, that does bring you that high, could bring you, let's say not does, could bring you that high tier of clientele who could be like, oh, yeah, he has that camera. But I'm saying as far as functionality goes, most deliverables for end clients are still in 1080. I'm amazed by that.
Yeah.
but most clients do not care about even 4K yet and talk about 8K. 8K is just a tool to be able to crop in, you know, and that's fine. I like that. I like being able to have that freedom in post, but I don't know if that freedom is worth 25 grand.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, right? And I'm like, as a business
I think
owner,
that's the biggest thing, just the prestige. And
Yeah.
I think that's probably what people got read a few years ago, what people, you know, shoot Aries. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I think Aries is definitely worth it when you see the image. But a lot of cameras in between that range, it's just like the prestige of it. Because at least nowadays, the cameras, you can get a $5 grand camera and it can look like any Hollywood movie.
Yeah, no, if in a controlled environment, it's really hard to tell. That's why I'm telling you, like, a lot of these people will do camera tests and they're like, look, and you know, most people are like, yeah, it looks close. I can see some differences because it's controlled lighting. Most cameras in controlled lighting look great. It's only, I think we need to go outdoors, I think, or uncontrolled lighting to be able to see, or a huge dynamic range to see difference. Because yeah, you put a huge dynamic range scene, you can clearly see an LF or a 35 easily apart. I'm saying from a $5,000 camera, but you can do smart. Like I tell my clients, if they want to shoot outdoors, I'm like, okay, we can smartly place where we are, or it's Florida. Let's just go indoors anyway, and I can very easily make it look like very high end footage with what we have because we're not dealing with these external elements that clearly outshow that's an LF. Now it takes more effort for you to go 5K versus 10K versus 50K, whatever camera price difference, or to even 2K. A lot of really cheap cameras are now starting to look really good. So I think it really comes down to is what's the right tool for the job. But I don't know if it's worth the price. I mean, like you said, with Ari, at least we see a value, or those jobs plus those clients are willing to pay those rental rates. I don't know where Burano fits currently, honestly.
I think it's like you said, like they're all tools. Like, if this camera doesn't have this setting or this feature, then you're gonna have to use another tool to suffice. It's like, do you want your camera to have more of the tools and less of the work on the outer end, or more of the tools inside the camera with lesser tools? Which meaning like the dynamic range, the softbar, or
you're breaking the set already.
Everything's breaking. It's messing me up. Yeah. But the dynamic range, the ISO, all these different tools, and then the backup of the lighting, all the things you need.
Exactly. So I think, like I said, I was just the truth being as simple as that is that I was disappointed, not because it wasn't good. It was just it wasn't good enough. Like I had expectations off the image. But like I said, still nice camera. Still like to own it. Maybe I'm waiting for the used market to come down because, like I said, I still the part for me to justify is yes, like you said, there's prestige, but is the prestige gonna bring me extra 25 grand? I don't know because my clients already don't care. My end clients, if I have it, and then the clients who do care what camera I have, usually don't mind paying a rental rate. However, like I said, if the prices come down, maybe 15K used, I would probably be picking one up. I'm very interested. But I think what I have, so I've said this before, but like my goal for this year, I sat down after we returned from Chicago. What's going to be my lineup that makes absolute sense? And I think the lineup that I'm going with is what I have is, 2 FX6s, 2 FX3s, 1 FX2, and the Ronin 4D 8K, plus adding a Burano to it. And that, I think, by the end of the year, if I can, I think that'd be a very good lineup to lead into 2026, unless something like a Mark II or whatever of these is announced, because I think I'm happy. I think with the new ad, we can basically do what we need to do, right? 100%. And I was even surprised with the mini cameras. I think a couple of little Pocket 3s here and there, Insta360 X5s would be good additions to where we can't put a big camera in. And we can put these tiny cameras because they are actually getting really good. Yeah. Especially places where you can't put a big camera. It's not like they can fully compete, but where they are now, they're actually usable in paid projects. So I think it's good for us. Like I said, tools are getting cheaper, smaller, better priced. So it's like a win-win, on our end. But as you know, most clients don't care.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's like, it's all about like your in-house and how you want to, work inside your in-house and get the good images. At least a lot of my clients, they don't. I mean, you know me, like I don't even shoot with Sony. I shoot with the Canon lens.
Yeah, the one I liked, and now you're
C70.
so crazy.
Yeah.
I kind of still miss that camera. And when the whole C70, sorry, and then when the C80 came out, C400, I really wanted those cameras. Because, I was in that ecosystem and they made me a lot of money and I really liked them. But to be honest, having switched to Sony, I personally may have missed the Canon or whatever. But honestly, as a business goes, it's nothing but up and up for me because I feel like there's so many people whose ecosystem I can fit in. Like, it's so crazy to like tell my agency clients like, oh yeah, I've got FX6 here or FX3 there, and they're like, perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's just an easy blend
Easy
into
use.
their workflow.
Even me, like I just talk to people and I don't even tell them the cameras I use. I just like, hey, I have a professional camera, blah, 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 blah. And if they need an FX6, if they need I don't know, Nikon or
like whatever they want.
Whatever they need, Red or whatever, like, you can rent it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, you just need to have your limit of like, when am I going to profit off of this project rather than, I think a lot of people, I saw this job request on, what's it called, on Production Hub, and there was like 2 cameras, all day shoot, multiple lighting gear, sound gear, running gun, everything, blah, 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 blah. $400. And I was like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, the expectations are getting crazy for the money. But and you know what's crazy? Here's they probably got some people who
They
said
probably got
yes.
somebody, for sure.
Who said yes. So it's also devaluing. I also don't think people should overcharge because we have people who are like, oh, I'll bring this, I don't know, FX30 and charge you $3,000 to show up or whatever. I mean, we have people like that. I think they're overcharging, but then we also have people who are like, "Oh yeah, I've got this Komodo. Let me come shoot for $200." And then you go,
I told
that's
you,
what
right?
your camera package should be."
Like a year ago, I was at Crunch Fitness working out. And I'm working out. I'm doing like I forget what I'm doing, but I'm doing like I think a leg pull or something, or a leg extension.
That's very important to the story.
Very important to the story, because I'm looking at my thighs as they're going up. Then I look to the right, and there's a guy pointing a camera at me. He's pointing a red Komodo at me at the gym, and I'm like, who the heck is this guy? So after I do my workout, I go up to him. I was like, hey man, I see you have a red Komodo, and he was like, oh, you know what this camera is? And I was like, yeah man, I'm a videographer. He's like, oh no way, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I just got accepted to what's the Full Sail?
Yeah,
Full Sail, like right down the street, like Full Sail. Oh yeah, right down the street over there. And I was so excited, and they told me this is a good camera to get, so I just bought it. And I was like, you're not even working. You just go to school and you just bought an FX6.
And they give you a camera anyway. I'm pretty sure Full Sail gives you a FX6
for the digital cinematography.
They give you an FX6.
They give
and a
you
MacBook
as part of the program the FX6.
An FX6.
Yeah.
Well, they charge you $80,000 or whatever for
they charge
course.
you.
You pay for it really when you pay for the class, for the course. But they give you that.
Yeah, they give you an FX. You don't need to buy anything. That's the whole point. They give you the whole kit. They give you the laptop, software.
So that's why so many people are just walking out of Full Sail with just
that's why the
cameras.
FX6 is so easy to buy here in Orlando because so many people don't end up doing that. So they're like, oh,
is Full Sail the reason everyone has an FX6?
Yes, probably.
Why does everyone have an FX6?
No, I was telling like how. So who was it telling this to? But like they have also captured the aperture of the lighting market because of I think places like Full Sail. So I was there shooting for 3 days, and I noticed that every single light in all of Full Sail was aperture. And I was like, so if these kids are now studying here, that's what they're using all the time. Then guess what? They're gonna go buy for themselves or use on their sets is aperture. That's why it's like synonymous because they are basically counting on this next generation of filmmakers to go and buy all these aperture lights. And I think that's crazy to think about that what is happening on an education level and how these companies are becoming the standard.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they give you an FX6, you use all the aperture lights. Guess what you're gonna shoot on and use when you get out of the school. Yeah.
I mean, the same thing happened to me. Reason I stuck with Canon is that they would just give us Canon at Valencia. They're like, hey, use this camera to learn on. Use this camera to. I played with the Canon Mark III, 5D Mark III for like 2 years in Valencia. And then I was like, why would I do anything else? I didn't know the Canon menus.
There you go. That's what you know. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. The school, if you go to school, not necessary because of YouTube University that you can learn from YouTube. But I'm saying, yeah, if you go to school, there's a high likelihood you're going to continue with what you learned on. Like, for example, I went to school and then they had Nikon for photography and they had these Panasonic cameras for broadcast because, it was more journalism oriented than film oriented. But they had Panasonic cameras. So, when I came time to buy a camera, I was like looking at Nikons and Panasonics. Thank goodness none of those were within the range I wanted to buy. So I ended up with a Canon just for that reason. Because I bought a T4i because that was the most affordable thing that I could find. But otherwise, what I'm saying, initially, my entire search was based on what they taught me on because that's all I know. So that's what you're kind of looking. And that's why I'm like, these schools have that power. Yeah. And I currently see them giving you an FX6 and giving you these aperture lights or letting you use it. Then you're more an Apple computer. So you're most likely to just use the tools that they give you. Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy though. He had a Komodo. Yeah. But also, it's inappropriate to film people. I'm saying
yeah, it's. I get it. We're in a gym.
Yeah, in a
but
gym.
Why are you pointing a camera at me?
Someone, yeah, that's like not an appropriate place to.
I never saw the footage either way, so I don't know what he did with it.
Yeah. Well, we know where it is.
I don't know if he knows how to color grade. I think that's semester 3 or 4. Yeah. I'm so like mind blown about the what's it called, the 80K, and then they give you FX6. Yeah. I feel like as like if like a couple years down the line someone like asks help, I'll just be like, oh, just give me 80K and I'll train you to be a professional DP. Yeah,
I was like, hey, company. Again, I am totally against, and we've had this discussions about paywalling education. So I personally believe in free education. But yes, if you've got 80K burning a hole, I mean, they do give them loans. But please, I will teach you on the job. And I'm pretty sure there's a high likelihood you spend 3 to 6 months with me, you're going to be making 6 figures straight out. Because you can learn from real world scenario, real world clients, what to do. I mean, again, you could probably watch this podcast and do it. What I'm saying, if you got 80K burning in your hole in your pocket, please, I'll take it. I will teach you, and I'll even give you an FX6 at the end of it.
You can found Bindra University.
Yes, I know, right? Let's do it. Let's start next.
And then I'll bring you on set. You do this. By the end of the couple semesters, you'll be a full-time worker.
No, for real, though. It'd be actually worthwhile. I'm not saying, again, I don't want to put down Full Sail that they're giving you bad education or whatever. The thing is, any university, you cannot keep up. So that's why I'm against courses. Not that courses inherently are bad. What happens is most people, that are doing these courses started out as full-time filmmakers, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this course would be great." They make a course, but then they become full-time course salesmen. And 2 years later, 3 years later, they're still selling the same stupid course, or if they're updating it, their information is so old. How to find clients, how to make business, because they're no longer in the field of video production. They're in the field of education. And so you never get the most up-to-date latest information on and you need to be learning from people who are in it.
I don't necessarily think that they're not in it. I just think that by having a course and by making all this money, you just get a different tier of clients. Like the type of clients that they're getting and the type of connections that they have are the type of connections that you're going to have the first year or two. Yeah.
But I don't know that many people that are actually selling a course and also doing full-time video production. Really? Do you know any people? I don't.
Well, the AOD, they still do productions, but they do productions that they want to do.
That's what I'm saying. That's not go out in the world that you would do. Like I don't know how many people. Sure, like again, nothing against AOD. I think it's a great course. I know a lot of people have gotten value out of it. But what I'm saying is, let's say you want to make documentaries, you go do the AOD course. I don't know how many people who are, and then that's the stat. Maybe I'd like to know. Somebody can chime in the comments. But like, how many people from AOD are coming and then they're getting instantly, like after the course, somebody giving them, here's 10K, go make a documentary, here's 100K, right? If they're doing AOD, they want to make documentaries. But the problem with documentaries is you need budget. You need, or you got to do it for free, then you're putting time. Most people in real world can't just 6 months, dedicate to do a passion project or whatever. The reality is like I said, I'm not trying to teach people how to be better filmmakers. There's enough people teaching you that. It's easy to learn. My entire point is, you got to then do something with it. You got to make it a full-time career. If you want to, then I can hopefully help you make it. But I don't know if art of documentary is the way to do it, because I don't know that many people you know, I know a decent amount of network.
They don't only have the document. I think they also have like the courses. I don't have any just from things I've heard. But yeah,
maybe we're not the right people to be talking about it. Maybe I should have asked David when he was there what he thinks, because he has the course.
The courses,
but ultimately, my entire thing is, and like I said, this is just a personal thing. Doesn't mean I'm correct. I just feel like education should be free, and the best education is to go learn what we're doing. I'm just talking this thing, not doctor. Please don't learn on the job how to be a doctor. That'd be funny. You're watching a doctor do surgery, and you're live learning on a person. That'd be bad. But I'm saying what we do. I think you're easily able to go intern with you for 3 months, 6 months. Intern with me. You can easily, I feel like, get everything, the important soft skills, to be able to go do this and make 6 figures. So not that I want to compete with Full Sail, but I'm just saying if you really have $80K burning a hole in your pocket and you want to do a paid internship, with me, like I'm like I wouldn't be open. I would be open to it, but again, I don't think they need to, because they can listen to podcasts like this, learn education from other filmmakers around their area, and get to that stage.
There's so much knowledge, and I think probably why people like the courses is because it's all condensed into one thing. I think YouTube is valuable, but you have to be really driven to find those nuggets of information. You have to go through all the repeating lines, the repeating lessons, all that, to find those nuggets of value. And I still think overall the best way to learning is just being on set. I think you need a little bit of YouTube to kind of like know what you should be doing, but then once you're on set, then that's when you really start absorbing all these lessons.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. So when I'm watching, I don't know, or doing something tedious, or organizing the studio, or charging the batteries, I like to play videos in the background, right? And I'm telling you, like, a lot of times it's just the same information that's being, repeated over and over again. I'm just tuning it out. And then I'll hear that 1 second, the 5-second thing they throw in. By the way, this camera on this setting does this. And I'm like, oh, what? Then I have to like pause what I'm doing, run there, back up, and I'm like, oh, that was the valuable information. So you're right. Everything you need to learn is on YouTube. But the problem is you have to find it. And then information is hidden in, like, even I'm sure in these podcasts, in 2 hours, it's like 60 seconds of real valuable information.
Yeah.
The rest is just us having fun. So somebody, if they don't listen to the whole thing, they're not going to, if they miss that, they miss that, It is just what it is. And then sure, in a college, like I said, or in a course, they could condense that. But again, my entire point is there's so many people out there that are just grifters. You have to then really find you the right course with the people with the right intention who are trying to help you. Because how much good information's on YouTube? The same amount of bad information on YouTube from people who are actual YouTubers, and all they want to do is shove products down your throat just to make a living, and because that's how they make a living. They don't make a living going out and finding clients, giving them value, and making a living that way. I don't know. I feel like a real world experience is great unless you want to be a YouTuber, which is fine. Then you go learn value there than from us.
And YouTubing is a very, like, I think most people can be quote unquote YouTubers if you really just have a niche, but it's like some people just don't like talking to the camera. Like I'm 50-50 that I do like talking if it's a very specific video, but I don't want to walk around and talk about my day. Like my day is my day. And then even when I get home and I'm talking to my girlfriend, she's like, how's your day? I'm just like, it was a day. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to, like, it's...
Yeah, you don't want to vlog. You don't want to pull out phone and start saying, hey, babe, today I went out and did
this. So I did this and this, and I found this and this. It's like...
Until next time, watch what happens in 30... You know how they also do, like, the whole YouTuber thing. It's its own career. And no it's offense to these people. Sure. I really like watching some YouTubers. They make great content. But we have to know that is a different content, when I'm making content, it's for a business or a brand to achieve whatever that is. It's not to gain, views or whatever. YouTube is like, you're trying to get views, you're trying to get conversions to whatever, then now you're pitching in there because, you have to have a sponsor integration. So it's a completely different thing. And now, like I said, I've been taking inspiration from Sean, and I've been trying to post, YouTube videos. And
did you ever end up posting the Chicago one?
It's gonna be posted by the time people probably see this. So hopefully they would have a reference point. But that's what I've been doing, and it's awkward, to be real. Like I've been but it's so hard. I know how David does it because I'm actually getting paid to do whatever I'm doing. And then I'm like, I have to remember, first, let me pull out my phone, and then I'm like, how do I now film this? Like I'm like, and then. Like, this is awkward. I don't know. But I'm trying. I do want to share more and help people more. So I see value in it. And like I said, I like watching that type of content. My entire thing is I want to create what I want to watch, but is that gonna be like high quality like what I'm creating for my client? No, I'm not gonna carry an FX3 ND filters to do this. I don't have time for that. But I can do it like David is doing or Cranky Cameraman is doing. I can definitely pull a, you know, pull a phone and make a clip here and there, and then throw some voiceover on top of it for it to make sense. And I think if that's how I can do it, then that's how it's going to be done. Yeah. Now, the studio tours and all that, that was helped me done by Josh, who's kind enough to come and do it. But not all videos are going to be like that. The vloggy style videos just are going to have to be made with a cell phone. That's just nature of what it is, right? And yeah.
For me, I'm interested. Me and Fernando have been talking about this with our production. Just hiring a BTS person that goes around, gets footage of every single scene, and just pulls us to the side for like a minute or two, and then we explain.
Yeah.
We did something similar to that on a commercial we did last year, and we want to start doing that. The only thing is like that's a whole different position. That's a position of just a camera guy just capturing BTS of us, which is great. But sometimes you gotta really see like budget or it's
or does it make sense? You mean it was.
I think it's always good. I don't think there's never a negative to get footage of photos of you working, your company working, your brand. But I think either way, every single time you do that, you grow a brand. I've seen some people here in Florida, some people in different states that they always have a BTS person, and their commercials, their YouTube videos, or not even they're just BTS, just looks as good as their commercial.
Yeah, and I do see value in that, but again, there's a cost to it. Either somebody's doing it for free because they want to, get involved, but then that's still them giving that value, or it's like you're spending actual money on it and having paid someone to do BTS in the past that and not use that. Then but that's on me. But I'm saying that has cost. So either way, there's cost. It's just how you're gonna pay for it, and at the end of the day, there's value to it. I'm saying the way I found so far is to do it like how David is doing it with a cell phone. Keep doing what I'm doing.
Very minimal,
yeah. Real. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be in the moment. Like, look, this is what I'm doing. This is real life. Now, is it going to be the nicest, the prettiest, the most elaborate? No. But if it works, maybe in the future I can go back to adding a BTS person or whatever. But currently, I don't see the fast-paced environment that we're moving in. You've seen where would we have put a BTS person in what we were doing?
It was even that for Chicago, which is tight either way. Like,
I mean, Tay was nice enough. He was recording some stuff, but again, even he was put into a handheld mode for something. We were like, oh, here's a camera, here's an RL. So because we had taken the top down camera down for I think the 2-person setup. So we're like, here's that camera. There you go. So, but I'm saying even he got put into work to do something completely different. So it's like you have to have a dedicated person just for that. I mean, I do see internship opportunities. We just had on a shoot Adam's intern. So Adam has an intern right now, and she did great. So Adam wasn't there, but he was like, if you have a job, you can bring her to get her more experience, and that was good. And that's what I did. I was like, hey, by the way, here's an FX3. So what are you interested in? She said more camera side. So I was like, well, my style is not like Adam's. I'm going to throw you in it. That's how I feel like you learn, right? It's like, here's an FX3. Go have fun. Do BTS. Right. And then, and I was like, that's basically where I feel like also they can learn because, I have no expectations as in they're learning, they can ask me questions, but if they don't do good, I'm saying it wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah. But if they do good, that's footage we can use now to use on YouTube or whatever.
Like that,
But at least that's my attempt is keep doing this twice a year, 2 seasons. But then also be more active on YouTube and social media and share with people what we're doing. Because I think what we're doing is...
My goal is be more active on social media, not too much YouTube. Because I think YouTube, at least for me, it's way more investment, at least for the video edits. You've seen my podcast clips, right? Recently I've been doing. I've just been adding some just podcast clips.
Did you post the one you did with me already or not yet?
No. So me and Fernando... Just like us two. So we had like a mini podcast and just talking about specific topics that we want to bring up.
Okay.
But I haven't done that one yet though. I should.
The amount of podcasts I've recorded with you that haven't seen the light of day, it's like crazy, right?
I will probably, what I'll probably do? I'll probably just make more reels of them. Yeah. I think I just enjoy the reel versions better than like.
The whole conversation?
Yeah. Because I just feel like at least when you're just starting a podcast, you feel like you have all this content and like 5 people are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it on my social media platform, a shorter version where someone is gonna get value out of it.
Yeah. My thing is that, see, the way I'm treating it, why I like this going to YouTube or other platforms than Instagram, the way I treat it is YouTube is my space for other filmmakers, right? This is me sharing what I do. I don't expect to get clients out of it if we do whatever. But the Instagram is where I expect, like, because clients sometimes will come to us to referral. They just want to check us out. And that's where they may go and check out who Bindra is or whatever. So I don't know if I want to put too much BTS content. I've thought about, I think Mario and I have talked about maybe doing like BTS then the final shot. Kind of like this is how we did it and this is the final result. Something like that I think would be more relevant for social media than the stuff I'm putting on YouTube. Because I want to put stuff on YouTube like, look, this is a setup. Look, this is how we set up and this is what we're doing on the podcast or whatever, right? I don't know. I feel like it's different type of content. It's different content and different audience. Because one is a filmmaker audience, one maybe a potential client audience.
I think it's a big conversation with a bunch of filmmakers I have conversations with. It's like, what do we post on social media? Like, what do we push out? Some filmmakers are in that world of like, they only make content for smaller companies and their social media. So they're kind of more in tune with it. And then some kind of like you, like bigger commercials, bigger things. So it's separate from social media, but I think social media each year is just becoming more and more important.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's why it's like we're diving more into packages and stuff for social media clients because we don't want.
Quick question for you though, how are you feeling about the new AI thing everyone just keeps talking about?
Which one, VO3?
Just seeing all the, I don't know, like just the what you just get on social media, like the news.
I think it's just AI slop. It's garbage.
It is garbage,
but that doesn't mean it'll always be garbage. See, the thing about products is, like I said, you look at the. Simply talking equipment-wise, DJI Pocket 1, Osmo Pocket 2, Pocket 3, it's a huge jump in quality and usefulness. So I think AI is just like that, where initial chat GPT was all right, but where chat GPT is today, I use it on a daily basis. Yeah. So it's so incredible that AI can even do video. I remember just a year or two ago, it couldn't even freaking write text, you know, properly. So I do see that it will continue to improve, and I do see its use cases, but I do not see it replacing what we do, so I'm not worried about it. But current state, it's just all garbage. And what's happening is the world is getting just flooded with more and more and more garbage.
You know what I see is going to happen?
Yeah.
The cheaper companies are going to start using it more. And I think every company is going to use it, but the cheaper company is going to use it more for everything. Instead of a video production company, they're going to try using that as a replacement. Then they're going to have trouble with it. I think the bigger companies are just going to, I think our companies, I'm doing it too. Like AI is part of how I run my business now.
Exactly.
I just use it as like a mood board the other day. Like, hey, I need this mood board done in the next hour. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Got everything.
Which one did you use? Midjourney or?
I use Canva.
Canva, look at that. Yeah, because they built it in.
Yeah, it's built in.
I don't know who they're using because a lot of these companies are just integrating into one of the other services. But no, AI is completely integrated into what I do. That's what I'm saying. I think it's just another tool. People get too obsessed with like, what's going to happen? Yes, the industry is going to evolve. Stop worrying about 10 years down the road. Worry about 6 months down the road, a year down the road, 2 years down the road. I think is our job being taken the next couple of years? Probably not. So I'm not worried about it. Yes, the industry is changing. It's changing really fast. And I don't think it replaces you and me because, for example, one of the cool projects we just did is like capturing this car being built from scratch, right? It's a new model. How is AI going to make any of that? Because the car doesn't exist. Yeah. You have to be there with the client. The project that you're helping me on is to, the car is getting built from scratch. We are capturing parts of how the car is being built to the final reveal, right? The whole story. Yeah. That story doesn't exist. AI cannot make something it has never seen. I hope that makes sense. It's only, taking data.
It's a new product
and,
for sure,
and putting it together or whatever and regurgitating.
I also feel like
whatever.
too, like if you rely on like AI as advertising or videos like that, it's gonna feel disingenuous.
Yeah,
I think people are not as stupid as people make it out. Like I know when I see an AI video,
people can be stupid, but what I'm saying now, there is purpose. Let me talk about it right now. Attention grabbing. Yes, you can do something really stupid on purpose. Like we've talked about, like people said, like what was it, John, who was saying that in that last meetup that he did an ad where he just had a random spatula in it, unnecessary, but it got more views than the ones where he's just normally talking to camera.
I've seen people do this, and since I'm in this world now, I know they're doing it on purpose. But they say something wrong, like a wrong information, just to capture your attention, and then you watch the video twice. And then you're like, damn, they got me.
Yeah.
They got me here because
megapixels.
they say something's interesting, or they have someone like in the background and like a thong, and you're like, wait a minute, did I just see that? And then you stay on that video.
See, you get it. And that social media is different than regular video. I tell people it's different than somebody going on your website. Like, let's say you want to hire a plumber. You find someone and you go to their website, you're watching a video. That's a different thing. You're intentionally watching it. Social media is entirely designed completely on you finding content, right? You're randomly scrolling, and their idea is to stop for attention. The more crazy, the more stupid you do it, the better. Is it good? No, it's garbage. What I'm saying is, like, right now, you and I could use VO3, and I thought about it, but then I just didn't, because I was like, my clients are not that, they're high-level clients. But I'm saying, like, you can go on VO3 and there's something very absurd, like, happening. Put that in there so people scroll and they just stop, and then you can talk some garbage happening, like, hey, do you want to make a video? Like, and then the idea was not that the video was great. It was stupid enough to stop people and get their attention. So it has a purpose there right now, but I feel like, does it resonate with the brand that you're in? Do you want to make AI slop is the word I think I would use for it, because it's just ultimate garbage, attention-seeking garbage. But we also know, like you said, it works. Doing something attention-grabbing on screen, on social media, works. And so, yeah, I would just say if that aligns with your brand values, then for sure. So I'm currently not deploying that, at least for my company, but I am definitely open to, when it gets really good, being able to pull some shots. Yeah, if I need like a flyover, like, hey, I need to fly over this building. If I don't have that drone shot available, and I'm sure that it has enough data from Google Earth and other drone shots that it can make me a flyover of something, I would absolutely use that shot. I don't know why I wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. AI will have its uses. I do not think it replaces me. I'm not worried about it. And if it does, then that day we can retire, and chill.
You still need something in the top to tell it what to do. You still need something with the idea and the plan and the goal. It just creates things. It doesn't really, create a really good. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's real and what's not, but you're still trying to tell a story. You're not trying to just show that something's real or not.
Exactly. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think people are just overly worried about AI. It is a new cool thing. I think it's going to keep getting evolved. I'm only surprised. Look at that, people not putting their phone on silent.
Whoops.
And then...
whoops.
And then, but I think I can't wait for it to be good enough, actually. That's my entire thing I'm looking forward to, is when it gets good enough and then we can use it and actually deploy it in our videos where it doesn't obviously look like AI. That's the point, yeah. But I'm saying, like, can you imagine the future that I get more worried about is we don't know what's real. Like, you could be on social media or anywhere online.
I think that's, for the news aspects, I think as a... citizen of this country.
You're like, you could be watching a video and you've no idea it's real. And then that could be also a defense mechanism. You see something, you're like, oh yeah, that's AI, right? And then you will never know the difference between, I don't know how we find out the difference is it real or AI.
The one thing, and this isn't necessarily about video production, but the one thing I'm actually happy that we're getting into the world, I think I'm happier that we're more skeptical with the news, or more skeptical with things that we hear. I think years ago, and I think especially many years ago, we would just hear whatever the news, they'd be like, oh, that's 100% fact. I think now, even in our industry, like someone tells me something, and I'm like, I'm always just on.
No, and that's very important too, because like you said, there's so much misinformation, but here's the opposite end of it. This is how, but scammers or people who are trying to do bad can get away with it, because now we're so used to being skeptical also, that if something major happens, it's like, oh, this company, I don't know, took $12 billion from its company. I'm just making up a random headline. You'd be like, but did they? And and what if they actually did? You know what I mean? Like, they did really bad. They can get away with it because they can literally put out, this looks like a AI driven or just scam or whatever, and then all they have to do is put doubt in your head, right? And you go, maybe they didn't. And this is a good way to, I'm saying, get away with also doing major harm, because you can just always blame media for saying it wrong. So I'm saying there's both sides to the coin. And as a citizen, like you said, you have no way of knowing when it's the truth and when it's not. So if you're skeptical, good, because you can avoid misinformation. But then on the other side, somebody could be like, taking advantage of you and you have no idea. You're like, I don't know. This is probably wrong. I don't know. So exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think about it too much though.
I have a memory. Like my grandma passed away a few years ago, but I have a memory when she was still alive. That there was a video, and it was way before AI was a thing. A video of like a giant shark coming and like eating a boat. And she runs up to me. She's like, "Look at this thing!" And she was so convinced it was real. I'm happy that she's not seeing the things that are going on now, just because it's like she would be extremely overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, my mother believes things, man. Talk about now. Apparently, it was trending like people are buying, and I'm pretty sure it was AI, but I don't even want to know deep into it. That some grocery bags or whatever in India that they give you for free when you leave a shop are being sold as like high designer wear here. She's like, I have 20 of those bags in my home. There, I could have brought them and sold them for $300 each. And she was like, this free items at my home would have been worth thousands. I was like, probably nobody's paying $300 for a dress with a grocery store. And if somebody is there, the rich idiots. So there's not that much market, and they're not going to buy from you. They're going to buy from a designer just because that's what makes it high value, not the actual garbage bag making a dress. But you see what I'm saying? But people will see that video and they go, the trending video on TikTok was something like, people are buying this free garbage bag for $300 in America or something like that, right? Yeah. And then, but people like my mother fall for it.
I always hate those get rich quick scams, or get even if like you can't even get like like the stocks or all this stuff. Like I have to really research myself to feel comfortable putting a single dollar in, rather than like, hey, buy this now and then you can sell it for later or this that.
Yeah, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. That's just the truth. If it was, then everyone would be doing it. Because I'm like, why wouldn't I be doing it? If you wouldn't be doing it. If there was a way.
Why is my grandma doing it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's usually anytime somebody's telling you something that's too good to be true, it usually is. That's what I'm saying. Like video production. If somebody's selling you a course and they're like, hey, buy my course for $1,000 and you can make $10,000 a month, guaranteed. It's like, are you sure about that? I know videographers have been doing this years and don't make that kind of money. Yeah. So you have to quite literally go in the weeds. Nothing's going to replace networking, learning your skill and craft. And
but the thing is, you're going to pay that and then they're going to tell you to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this. It's like, I fucking,
and then when you ask for your refund, they go, well, did you do that? Did you do networking? So, so that's what I'm saying. It's just, it's just, again, it's a get rich quick scheme for, that is how they're kind of selling you on.
I also think too, like I think at least in America, the way we're educated is that we're so used to getting told what to do in high school and even in college. Like, hey, do this, this, and this, and you get an A. We kind of like are used to being told the tasks that we have to do, even in corporate jobs as well. So I feel like freelancing and building your own company is such a complete opposite of that, because you don't know what to do. There is no like full next step. You have to make your own next step, or you have to ask people and get advice. That people feel comfort in buying those courses. Like they don't want to figure that out by themselves. They just want someone to tell them.
I see the point of that, because you're right. Because schools train you to follow the next step, and if you ever get a job, it's the same thing. They train you, they tell you what to do, so life is easy. Because you're told, like, I want you to do this, to this, to this, to this. This is a process, which is great. But yeah, when you are the company owner, you have to build your own processes. Funny enough, like, I'm actually currently in the way of even optimizing my processes, and I'm going like, so what software to use for, project management or whatever? What is there something new out there? Because, when you've been running a company 6-7 years, again, I don't want to become, the dinosaur, right? I want to keep making sure we're innovating, we're using whatever's the latest out there. But like you said, if there's no one, then I have to figure every little thing out. I have to make processes that people count on. Like, for example, I asked you for help in a shoot. Like, you're counting on me to make sure you know what you're supposed to do, right? And same thing, if you hire people on your sets, they expect you to know everything, whatever they need to get their job done. So, like you said, it's not for everyone, because you have to figure out everything yourself, or at least go ask for advice. But again, I don't know how many of these courses are useful. But if they are, I mean, at the end of the day, like, look, it's for people. If you buy some course that helps you, then sure, for sure, do it. Like, why do I care? Like, it's your value again. But I'm just saying that information is available for free. Most people don't need to. And if you do feel like you need to, then I think you're better off taking that money, calling somebody. And again, I think most people would do it for free. But I would rather call a filmmaker that you want to be like in their area and just offer it to them. Be like, hey, can I come work with you for free for 3 months? Like, I like to learn this business, and I don't want putting time into your business because they have to gain something out of it too.
Yeah.
Or if you have money, then be like, yeah, I'll give you a couple grand or whatever. I'm sure most filmmakers would, like I said, just do it for free because at the end of the day, you can learn so much from them, and they can use an intern or whatever to get them to do basic things that they don't want to do. Point is, everyone wins, and you'll learn way more than any course because that'll be real world, like how to get clients, how to approach them, what goes wrong on a set. I feel like a course can't really teach you that. It can teach you the basics, but it can't teach you everyday life. Because then maybe you may have been doing this for 3 years and something random never happened on set. And that one time, that one accessory is just not working. And now you're like, well, now what? Right? And that happens. You can't be prepared for that.
It still happens, on sets for sure. I think this is a fun career that you have to just be on the fly and just learn on spot and remember what you've learned the past couple of years.
Yeah. And also keep innovating because things are changing. AI is coming, new equipment's coming. You got to always be on your toes, ready to accept new things because if you don't, then like I say, you get left behind. So
I think it's an advantage for the people that are just starting off. Because to be honest, if they're good at the AI thing,
they could probably
right? surpass.
Just churn out AI slop. I wonder how many people are doing that. I mean, you just approach clients and like, okay, give me $50 and I'll churn you 10 reels.
Well, there's people that just they post like music videos or like relaxing music on YouTube. That's AI made. The graphics are already made, and then they make like 10 grand a month.
Yeah, because it's just they're going for those ad revenue or whatever.
That's gonna be my side hustle.
Yeah, there you go. But there's only so much relaxing music people need. So at some point you go.
Yeah, sometimes it's gonna
oversaturate.
That's right. But hey, if I get a couple thousand.
Next thing I know, you're just at home making relaxing music for YouTube, man.
Imagine I'm like, nah, I make more. I make 10 grand a week with this. I don't know if I want to do.
Yeah, you're like putting up your C70 for sale, right? So is that next for you? I was gonna lean into towards the tail end. Are you what's next for you? Is it making AI slop? Is that what your future
Definitely
is?
Definitely not AI slop. Definitely using more AI to like you said, run the business smoother, run some things faster, outreach easier. I definitely do want to do what John Roos is doing with like hiring other people to run some of the some PAs, some VAs, to kind of run some things a little easier. Right now, I'm finally using some different programs to kind of organize the outreach I'm doing. So I think that's always been the thing I've been most uncomfortable with. So I think I'm finally like locking that in. Fernando and I want to get more retainer deals, and I think that's going to be our focus the last 6 months of 2025. Locking a few retainer deals. Studio, just keep doing more events. We're doing a back to school photo shoot in August, a few in July. Hopefully some master classes in the next couple weeks or next couple months. And then just do more fun projects like the project in Chicago. Like I said, I think there's always, at least for me, I'm juggling 3 things.
Yeah.
Just keep juggling those 3 things and just kind of lock them in.
No, absolutely. That's what I think we all do, right? We're trying to figure out, again, like we just mentioned, like you as an entrepreneur, you just have to figure out the next step, but you have to do it yourself, right? You have to come up with an idea, try it. Hopefully it works. If not, you go back to the drawing board, try again until, you find what works.
Yeah.
But it's pretty awesome, man. I'm just happy for you. I'm just happy to have you set. Now I get it. You're growing in your own career. You have so much going for you. It's hard to like make time for me, but I really still like working with you.
No, I love working with you. I love when you give me
I
those
had
calls.
so much fun on Chicago. I'm excited about this other shoot.
And same with the opposite. I keep trying to justify even now, like we just had like a 2-meeting discovery call and a sales pitch with a client, me and Fernando, for like this big deal for their social media. And then they just responded to me on the way here, and they were like, "Yeah, we love the packages, but this is our budget." And I'm like, the budget is not.
So give me a reference number. Where were you guys and where were they? People would love the difference.
So it was 1/3 of the cheapest package. we had.
Wow.
So I was just like, is it even profitable for us to try?
Yeah.
To even like one day of that is already like, I'm already at a loss if I do any other project.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, damn, like you want to help a client out because I invested. I've worked with that client before, but it's like, it's interesting when you get to that point, like you can make way more money by getting either hired as a freelancer or getting an actual company that was willing to pay or invest in those kind of commercials.
Exactly. And that's what a struggle is. Like, I love helping small businesses, and I tell them too, like, the truth is I go do these big jobs just to subsidize my small clients. The truth is I know that, and I tell them that. I'm like, look, this brand story video that you're getting for $5,000, which sounds like a lot of money, the tools and the people and the equipment I'm going to use, I would normally use that. The only reason I have all this is I use it on my bigger jobs. And now, hey, since we have it, might as well use it on this smaller job. But if I was only doing these smaller jobs, I would never own any of this, and it would never make financial sense for it. And that's why I have to tell them, like, look, I only help so many small businesses, and this is not how it would normally happen. You know, now obviously I love what I do and I love what you're doing, so this is like, I'm happy to come out, help you guys make things happen, and it's a win-win for everyone, because you know, you're also building a relationship with them that you don't typically with a bigger client. But like you said, they don't typically have the budgets to do anything grand, and $5,000, like you said, for small business can be a lot of money. Exactly. And then versus for a big client, here's a funny thing: you say, you know, $100,000. A lot of time they're thanking you, like, you know, you'll say a project, and it's such an opposite experience. I've had that where I'm like, I'm pitching a client a project. I'm like, hey, this is it, and I'm like, what kind of budget do you have? And then they'll say, oh, it's gonna, let's say it's gonna be $120,000. I'm like, well, that seems very low for what you want, because obviously the expectations are higher too. I'm like, could you push it up to 140? And they're like, no, this is most we have. And I was like, okay, I can cut a few things and get you there. Right, it's not going to be 100% the same, but I can get you almost there, right? Yeah, and I'll do my best. But then they're thanking you. They're like, "Oh my goodness, thank you," because they don't know how much this costs, right? Because if it's not like they just reach me, companies don't spend that kind of money just going to one person. So I'm saying that but it's such a funny experience where it's just small businesses are like, "Oh, that's too much money," you know, like, I don't know. And versus when you're talking these huge numbers. And then these big brands are thanking you. They're like, "Oh my goodness, thank you for doing this for cheaper costs." It's like a funny conversation.
It's crazy too, where like you realize what industries you really want to hit. You really want to charge those big numbers because, for example, like I do social media for this lawyer, and she pays a lot for the social media videos. But then, if she gets one client, she already pays 3 months of social media content. So it's like, really find the clients that are going to benefit from putting that big investment in.
Yeah. So obviously you've been doing this a long time. I'm sure since last we talked, you've improved more. What type of rates are you going to up your rate? What type of rates are you trying to charge people now?
For just my DP rate?
Yeah, your DP rate. Has it upped? Have you upped it, obviously, since last time?
I haven't upped it. I'm fine saying, do you want me to say it?
Yeah. I mean, we don't gatekeep anything.
Usually my day rate for, like, let's say 8 hours, you know, lights, cameras, audio equipment, usually it's around $1,200.
Which is pretty good. Yeah. For doing everything.
Yeah. And then with some clients, I still charge a half day rate, and the half day is $850 for the half day rate.
Yeah.
But for the new clients, I don't try bringing up half day rates.
Yeah, I don't even offer that, because my thing is, it's not like I can unless I get lucky. I'm happy to offer it if I have two jobs that can do the same day. But usually, you know, you can only take one job. So I'm like, look, there's no half days. Obviously, I'm willing to work with people I know or like or a relationship. I'm like, hey, we could work a deal out, but it's not like there's no half day.
Yeah,
you know. But the other side, what about projects? What are like the type of projects are you aiming for? Is there a certain range, like you can say 5 to like 50, or what ranges are you now at this stage where you have so much going on? What ranges are you trying to reach
for the social media? Because we have two. For the social media, I think the lowest we're doing right now is like 2,000 for like monthly content, up to probably like 8,000, and that's just like social media content. That's not like any big commercials, crazy lighting,
just reels,
a lot of editing. Yeah, that's kind of where the bulk of that goes, and that's just the price ranges where.
How many reels can they even get for $2,000? Because that's not a lot of money.
It's like probably like we have one that that client I told you about that lowered it.
Mm-hmm.
Her rate was I think it was 1,800. We lowered it a little bit for her, and that was 5 reels.
Okay.
For that, and then a lot of copy,
Mm-hmm.
And then with the higher ranges, we would have done social media management, analytics, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even that's way more.
Mm-hmm.
That was a couple of thousand more, and then they can't even for just 5 reels,
Mm-hmm.
And the copy because it was 5 reels copy, and then what else? And then it was like monthly meetings about what videos they need to create to be able to get that audience. But then for commercial work, we it's interesting because Fernando and I we do our own outreach, and then he gets different type of clientele than I get.
Then you do.
So it's interesting how
so
sometimes
it's a good partnership though, right? Then you guys can bring in different.
He's worked with a lot of agencies, so a lot of the projects he brings in are previous agencies, agencies that need video production, which is great.
Yeah,
it's they get bigger clients, so it's funner to work with. But you'd be surprised that usually the agencies get majority of the money.
Yeah.
So usually we get it locked in, but we don't have the biggest budget for those. But then if I get my client, for example, I got a corporate job, conference work, 2 weeks ago. And it was me, 2 other people, and that was around. It was like 2 days of work, 2-3 days of work, and that was around like $7,000 of budget. And then obviously,
you said 70 or 17?
$7,000.
$7,000. Okay.
$7,000.
Yeah. Like, what, 70 grand? Yeah.
$7,000, and then you hire, you hire the 2 people. I was there for I think 3 days. I was doing the editing and the other things, but then
that's pretty good corporate type of job. No, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, no, I'm excited to talk to Fernando. We're going to be talking to him in a few weeks. So I'm really excited about talking to Fernando about all this. I had such a good time with him on that Miami shoot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
We're doing one next week. Funny enough, that one's gonna be fun. It's
is it Guga again or just you and Fernando?
Me and Fernando. Okay. Yeah, me and Fernando. And I always wish that like some similar thing as an agency job, and that's why I was like, damn, I wish we had a big job to just have you with the grip truck.
Well, I'm always down to collaborate. That was a fun job. I had such a good time, and funny enough, they booked me as a grip, and funny enough, like I had felt like everything was mine. Like in the end, we were like using cameras and everything, and I was like, and who was it? One of the was like, yeah, you saved the production, whatever. And I was like, I'm just happy to help. It's a pretty fun job, and I'm so glad to be part of it. And Fernando and his friends were so great because I was the only non-Brazilian there.
Yeah.
But they made me feel like a part of the production, so I had such a good time.
It's important. It's important to have fun. It's important to build that relationship.
Yeah. No, I had such an incredible time, and I was so happy for him to invite me there, or get me, I guess, tell Guga to invite me there or whatever. And I had known him through you for a while now, but never had a chance to work with him. So that was really good. I tried to get him on board the Chicago shoot and this shoot that we're gonna do, but his schedule didn't line up. Otherwise, it would have been cool to have him on both those shoots.
Yeah, he was out.
But we'll work it out. We'll get him on my set too. But I think you two are already doing such great things. But and always happy to collaborate if you ever have the budget. Or just in general, reach out. We can figure something out. This would go longer, but somebody needs to get a watch. But you have a watch. You were late coming in here. I feel like every shoot I need to just start telling you to come 15 minutes before you actually need to be there, because I feel like you're always 15 minutes behind. Anyway, this is going to be the shortest episode, I guess, because we're going to cut it soon.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah,
the shortest episode just for you,
just because you were late. Anyway, you were like, I'm just 10 minutes behind. 20 minutes later,
no, I was 15 minutes behind after I said 10 minutes. I got here like 12:15 on the dot.
Oh, that's so funny. But no, it's always a pleasure talking to you. I feel like you and I have such great conversations, despite you putting me in bad situations by having me eat really hot chicken for no reason. And I was like, when I ate, I was like, who am I trying to prove anything
and then you were also mad about the exploring with the bicycle.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, before we go, quickly. So I think I've told this story, but yeah, you were like, so we had such fun. We talked about this on last season. We went to DC for Adam. And that time I had so much fun because, we rented those bikes. We explored the city, and normally, I wouldn't do that. After shoot, you're tired, you go back to the room and you sleep. And you encouraged me to go explore the city, and it's such a good time. I was like, yeah, that's why I like traveling with you. Because like, I need, you need that motivation from someone with you. Like, let's go do stuff. Let's out the city. And so this shoot, same thing. You were there, which is like I said, why I wanted you to part of it. Like it's not only fun on set, it's fun outside. You were like, let's go see the Bean or whatever, and it was so funny that you were like bikes, and I was like so excited. I genuinely was like, wow, we're gonna have a good time. And then we started rolling, and I was like, my bike is broken. And then come to find out, oh, these are like old school mechanical bikes.
It's funny that he calls them old school.
Yeah.
A regular bicycle.
Yeah, regular. That's what I'm saying. This old school. Nowadays, bicycle have all these electronic features. We're in 2025. Anyway, I'm just saying there were like the traditional, regular bicycle where you have to pedal, which is fine. But Chicago has a lot of incline, So it was fun. It was
a lot of decline. We went all decline.
And I was trying to do this stupid podcast. Sorry, not podcast. Vlog thing that I started. So I was like, this is really hard. I'm like gonna fall down because I'm like trying to vlog. I'm trying to ride this bicycle, taking a lot of effort, and I've just spent all day standing up, so my knees hurt. And on top of that, I'm freaking riding this bicycle. You also made it seem like, it's just right there, and it was like
right there. We got there in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was at least 15 minutes of.
No, 10 minutes.
Whatever. I think you still have that picture. Put that picture up. On the screen.
That we have.
Because I think I sent it for the other podcast. We had such a good time there. Come on.
Oh my god, it was fun.
Look at
I wish I had, because we were there on set for like 12 hours.
Look at that.
There we are.
Look at that. Look at that
good
group of guys.
You can't even tell the Vipple's mad in that
photo. Zoom in. Pinch to zoom. There you go.
Look at us.
Look at that. This is such a good team.
Yeah. Right there, he's mad.
Yeah.
He's like, my knees hurt.
My knees hurt.
And then after that, we walked for another 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. No, because you also made us then go to the river. We had a drink there. Then we walked the whole river.
Not the whole river. We walked like a few blocks.
Okay, a few blocks, whatever. And then we took an Uber back.
2 blocks, I think.
Yeah, but it was a good time. I'm not complaining. But I was complaining then, but I'm not complaining. I was like, guys, we have to work all day again tomorrow.
I realized too, like even I was tired because we had full day shoots, and then every call time was 6 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then we
why
show
does
up.
Zay do so? I can't wait to have him on the podcast. That's my only question to him. Why do we have to be there every day 6 if the recording time is 8? I don't know. Anyway,
we would show up, and then we'd be like, "We're doing something." No, okay, we sit there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we would start shooting.
So, but you're right. No, we were all tired. We did whole days, but then we also would walk to get dinner or whatever, or just see the city or whatever. Like I said, it was fun. I'm not complaining. I just wish the bicycles had some electronic assist.
There
would have been
was
nice.
one. We just didn't find it.
Yeah, we just didn't look for them. We got the ones right in front of the Airbnb.
It's perfect.
Which is perfect. And then, but they were mechanical. And like I said, it would have been fine if we were just doing that. But after a full shoot day, I was just like, my knees were hurting, my legs were hurting. And, and at least you guys got to sit down. Because you especially, I made sure, because, we're doing handheld, that you had a seat. I, on the other hand, a lot of time was just standing. I mean, I did sit down too, but I'm saying a lot of times I was just standing. So, like, my knees were definitely tired. So that was a not so fun experience.
Yeah.
Right? But I think it was a good time. It was a good time hanging out with you.
It was great.
It was a good time being able to bring us all together. Yeah. I thought that was like the dream team. It was great. All of us.
I think the footage came out great. We all had fun. We all had some fun afterwards. I can't wait to see the final video.
Yeah, can't wait to see that. Hopefully we get to go again next year to the new location. It's always fun, doing this project with Zay. Also, again, thank you for coming. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Before we go, anything else you want to say or add or talk about? I know that we didn't touch.
I guess for anyone that doesn't know me, you guys can always follow me. I have 3 social media accounts.
Oh my goodness! Pitch everything.
So be prepared. For the commercial or for the production company, it's datmedia.pro on Instagram. The studio 124. If you guys want your headshots, we do a lot of events. Or if you guys want a studio, you guys want to do photo or video ad, we're always welcoming people to rent out the studio. And then for freelancing, for my own portfolio, you can find me in emanfilms_FL for Florida, because apparently there's another one in Texas.
Wow.
So I don't go to Texas because of that. That's, we have our own little areas, our own territories. We cover. But yeah, if you guys want to find me, if you guys want to follow me and see what I do, you guys can always check it out there.
That was too many pitch. What do you call too many call to action. Have you not learned anything about marketing? You go win CTA. Nobody's gonna go do nothing now.
No one's gonna do nothing. I'm not expecting any.
That was too many CTAs. Now where do I go? How about this? How about you watch next Thursday the same podcast, Studio B Sessions with Bindra.